Hello YouTube, it's William here with Go Uppers Trains, and just some big updates for you guys. First of all, I know I uploaded earlier, but there were some issues with audio because I used my headphones, and for some reason those cut out like a lot. But anyways, some huge news, just a quick update. The unboxing I did earlier featured these items. I got Blue Comet passenger cars, an entire American Railroads Golden Spike set, and this Great Northern 282 Mikado that needs a little bit of help. 25, 25, 50. Anyways, that's not what I wanted to talk to you guys about. If you were observant, you would have noticed that the Rhodes is over there now, and, well, where's all my stuff? Which is precisely what I wanted to talk to you about. While I was gone, the layout room got a significant makeover, and I might as well just show you guys what that looks like. So my collection has a new home. Long story short, IKEA messed up and sent us the wrong bookshelves, and then they sent us the wrong bookshelves again, and this time instead of picking it up or returning it to the store said that we could keep them. So they were put up in the basement, and my parents asked if I wanted them for my model stuff. And I said, sure. So I'm still using these plastic bins to store the majority of my models. However, we've got fancy new ones that match these because these are just much better in terms of the physical storage space that they provide. You can kind of stack engines like puzzle pieces inside of these. This one's a bit messier, but I mean, you guys get the general idea. They fit like a glove. It's a bit like playing Tetris. But anyways, all of my boxes and things and my Redbox sets are now very well protected because these bookshelves are actually drilled into the wall. Like, they're mounted to the studs behind the wall. So these are not going anywhere. In addition, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is literally rock solid. Anyways, the point behind all of this is I now have a new place to store my models, more space to do so, and I need to get rid of all this stuff. Everything's been emptied out of these with the exception of rolling stock. I still need to work on all that, but I'm getting a solution. I'm probably going to get more of these because these also are perfect for storing entire 8-car sets. So I plan on getting a few more of these. Anyways, I also just really wanted to show this shelf because I think it's the coolest thing ever now that I've got it set up. And it looks like this. So the expensive ass drawer has been replaced with the expensive ass shelf, from left to right, or right to left, sorry. What am I talking about? We've got the Wilkes F7, Skull and Dreyfus, Empire State Express, Blue Goose, Standard Dreyfus, and the standard dark green Crescent. So I just picked a couple models that are extremely rare, expensive, and put them here because not only will they get very good dust protection, they're in a very sturdy place, covered with glass, and in a place where I can enjoy them. Eventually, there's also a no-slip mat underneath them so they won't go anywhere. But eventually, I'm going to put like a little lip on this shelf here, so even if the shelf does start to shake, these guys aren't going anywhere. Naturally, these are all of the boxes for my assorted pieces. You've got things like an operating unloader crane set. I don't actually have this. This is just a box that Jack used to ship me some things. We've got IHC locomotives, model power locomotives, Bachmann. We've got IHC passenger cars, AHM passenger sets. There's a lot of passenger car boxes in here. Like this one, between the Crescent Limited and NF, I don't exactly know. Oh, Norfolk and Western, probably. But yeah, this entire thing here is all, it's all AHM passenger car. And these are pacemaker car boxes. Down here, we've got some more locomotive stuff. Like there's a couple Pacific boxes back there, some Bachmann stuff, a couple Rivarossi boxes, model power things. And this is just kind of the miscellaneous shelf where stuff that doesn't fit into other things go. These are all empty boxes. I don't usually store stuff in the boxes because it's a royal pain to get out. But this might be my favorite shelf. This is the Rivarossi Redbox section. These are all for the NMRA Headquarters Express, but these are all of the locomotive red boxes that go back there. So, you know, if I'm being perfectly honest, part of why I wanted to make this video is to show you guys, if you go back and compare to a few years ago when my collection was really just getting started with what I had to work with from when I was much younger, it has gotten, I guess, formidable, you could say. All this to say that if you really, really want to do well in this hobby, it's definitely possible. When I started, I had like no money, nothing interesting really, and not even a half decent layout, but I built this platform. I started buying and selling. I started to make money. I started to build a collection. All this to say that it's possible. You guys can do it too. Anyways, now that I'm done showing you the new setup, why don't I show you the new organization so you can get an idea of just how far my collection has come. So starting on the layout, we've got my NYC Niagara, Bachmann, amazing engine. IHC 282 Mikado, New York Central, literally perfect condition. Nickel Plate Road, 284 Berkshire, 750, or what the heck am I talking about? Isn't that 765? Yes, it is. Southern 080 IHC, one of my new favorite locomotives. Frisco 1630. Coming over here, we got the T1 Duplex, the beast of them all. The Redbox cab forward. The PRR J1, also BLI. I might do a review on that soon. Got the BLI M1A, Bachmann Overland Limited, Bachmann GS4 War Baby, Bachmann Norfolk and Western J-Class 610. That was the later Spectrum model. I have an early Plus model as well. In here we've got NMRA HQ Express passenger cars. We've got John Wilkes passenger cars. The Milwaukee Road Hiawatha set. A couple of Tyco tender drive locomotives and an IHC 260 that needs some help. But we've got the Southern Green 080, the GMNO 280, boiler front. Looks like it's either coming off or is bent. I'll have to ask Dan about that. He was the last person to handle that. The Canadian Pacific 080. Down here we've got Oodles of Mountains. That 117 there is a disemboweled Grand Trunk Western one in terrible shape. We've got a Daylight 462. We have a Pemco, the original Pemco PRR one. And down here I believe is the NYC one that's had a bastardized headlight installed by some other ding-dong who owned it before me. Down here we've got a couple IHC Moguls and a 442, or 440, excuse me. There's the Santa Fe, Southern, and PRR, as well as an ICRR 440. Down here, these drawers are basically unchanged. You guys have seen this one a million times, as this one. The only difference is I replaced the Dreyfus with a standard, but in red box, because I wanted the Dreyfus up on the shelf there. Oh yeah, and the Heisler is in here now. And down here, this is the drawer that's had the most significant changes. It's mostly just been emptied out, and the Hogwarts Express has been placed in here because I was able to find new homes for all of the other units in my new drawers. So let's get started. This one's kind of mismatched. We've got the other two Moguls that I have that are complete. My two Mantua 442 Atlantics. Another one of my, or actually three more of my 482 Mountains. We have the Santa Fe. We have, I believe, oh shoot, I can't remember what this one is. Oh, Norfolk and Western, and the Baltimore and Ohio one. This tender is really dirty. I need to take care of that. Anyways, we also have the Plus Series 280 consolidation and a spare tender. Above that is more stuff that doesn't see a lot of runtime. Some of it definitely needs it. Here is the Proto 2000 210-2 that I got in a trade with a friend of mine named Owen. This guy is there's still a couple bugs that need worked out, so he's just sitting in here until I can get around to it. My Chesapeake and Ohio Mantua 462 just had a video come out on this thing. Wonderful engine. Go watch that. Blows my mind every time. We've got the Bachmann Plus J-Class right here. Great engine. I don't know if I'll do a video on it or not, but maybe someday. We've got the Southern Green AHM Sealiners, one of the few diesel locomotives I own. Gilbert American Flyer 060, right here, PRR, painted boiler front, very nice locomotive. The Lionel GS4 American Freedom Train, this thing does not work. The motor is essentially dead. I need to look into that more. My PRR 262 Prairie by Bachmann, that might need a video someday as well. Up here we've got the Crescent cars. Above that is the 20th Century Limited. And then we've got more locomotives. So this one is a lot of Bachmann Northerns and Bachmann pancake drive steamers. We have both of my Texas Chuggers, the Santa Fe and the C&O. We have the 20th Century Limited Lightning Stripe Niagara, which is actually one of my favorite old Bachmanns right here. We have the Chessie System GS4, another huge favorite of mine, really an incredible locomotive. The Plus Series GS4, which is another fantastic unit, and the President's Choice Canadian Pacific 080 switcher. This one does not have the cars that go with it, unfortunately, so I'm going to hold off on doing a video on it until I do. And here's more interesting stuff. Here are the President's Choice engines, 6060 and the Hudson. My pinstriped K4, the 482 Mountain, also President's Choice. We have the Bachmann Union Pacific 282, one of my favorite engines, actually. You'd be surprised. My Bachmann PRR 260 Mogul, fantastic locomotive. I really love that thing. And my Bachmann 484 Santa Fe Northern. This is Bachmann's standard line with DCC equipped from a couple years ago. So that's a very new engine. Here's where stuff starts getting crazy. I've got both of my FEFs, the Greyhound 836, I believe. Yep. And the black and silver 8444. My Bachmann Plus Drive Overland Limited first version. Very difficult to find engine and a really fantastic runner. My Rivarossi Indiana Harbor Belt with the booster truck. We have my NYC and STL Burke. This one is in rough-ish shape. It's a 759. It's fully complete. I just don't run it enough. We have I believe that's either a Model Power or a Mahano. Same thing. New York Central 462 Pacific. Difficult to spot. I think it's back there. But that is my Bachmann Spectrum K4. Another fantastic engine. Please check out the video on that one. And then all the tenders. Up here is the Rivarossi Articulateds, and yeah, we've got my other cab forward. This is my silver boiler front cab forward, very difficult to find. My Baltimore and Ohio EL5, insanely rare unit. My Norfolk and Western Y6B, my Pennsylvania Y6B, and my Union Pacific Big Boy. I moved that guy in here primarily for accessibility because when it was back on that shelf, getting it off the shelf was a royal pain. And so I just never ran it as a result. But now that he is over here, I can enjoy it more. Anyways, up top is another, this is probably the craziest drawer of all of them. We've got actually no, that is the Red Box Hudson. And the lower drawer, I replaced that with a Boston and Albany Hudson. We have my silver boiler front Hornby era Hudson. My Red Box Alton Limited. That thing's had a troubled past. I just recently got it. My first Crescent Limited. Right there. Gorgeous. Standard. Still among the best. Both of my Southern 282 Mikados. Both of them are 4501. And on the left, we have the Red Box, Crescent Limited. So that's all the stuff in these containers, but there's more. We've got the small containers inside the glass case. Santa Fe Sealiner, Pennsylvania 040, Model Power. Bachmann Burlington F unit and C&O switcher. These are the only diesels I own, by the way, in addition to those Southern Sealiners. Atlantic West Point, Atlanta and West Point Railway 440 American, and my V&T Reno, great locomotive. Bachmann 262 Prairie, and a Bachmann Pennsylvania switcher. This thing was a fun little unit. I got it for $1, which is appropriate because it's numbered 1. Just a bit of a mess overall, and it's missing the pilot, but it does run. Down here, we've got my Varney Casey Jones, another favorite. Way at the bottom is a Missouri Pacific Lines Lima 282 Mikado. That thing really deserves a video someday. Heck, maybe even tomorrow. Anyways, last but certainly not least, we've got a whole bunch of Pacifics. The NMRA Headquarters Express, Blue Comet, PS4, and my standard Alton. Down here's the Hogwarts Express Consist. I have 5 cars for it now. A couple more Pacifics. 3, if you can believe it. AT&S F30, or I don't remember the number. It's like 3423. So actually, no, there's 2 of them in here. The other one is somewhere else right now. Oh, it's in that drawer. There's 2 of them in here. There is a red box Blue Comet and the RF&P Berkshire. Down here is all my quote-unquote cursed locomotives. You've got the Hiawatha semi-streamlined Pacific from IHC, the Royal Blue in the same design, and the Mercury that Varun hates with a passion, as well as an odd Mantua 060, and the Alton Limited from IHC. All of those are great units. Then on the very bottom, we got a couple more items of interest. Lifelike 040, Model Power, or excuse me, AHM 040, also Mahano, I believe, but this thing is really rough. Daylight Scheme, so it's interesting. Bachmann 280 Consolidation, Santa Fe, fantastic locomotive. U.S. Army Transportation Corps 080, New York Central 280 Consolidation, also IHC, and a Santa Fe 280 Consolidation in IHC. So I'm not going to touch on the rolling stock or the parts locomotives because that honestly would start to get into far too much to list. I wasn't originally intending to show you all of this stuff, but like as I started filming and started talking, I was like, you know what the heck, why not? But that's just the HO stuff. Maybe I'll go into the other scales more some other time. But for now, I've already taken more than 15 minutes to do this, so I'm going to let you guys go. If you've stayed this long, thank you guys so much for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.